everybody and welcome back. Welcome back to our Back to Basics journal, which is actually, it's coming along there, isn't it? So after I left you yesterday, I took the time to go through the journal and put the big journaling cards in wherever I thought they were needed. So I'll show you mine, and hopefully yours, you will have found time to do your journaling cards, and yours will be looking something a little like this. Nothing happened there. That's a blank page. That's our flower book inclusion. But this one, I have added a ginormous journaling tag in there. Excellent journaling on the back. When you remove it, you can still see the roses, stencils, and it just fits into there, which allows, as I say, loads of journaling. Now, at some stage, we will do the decorating on this, and maybe some lace up there, or a little picture, maybe something on that. I don't know. We're just doing the construction at the minute. Here in this envelope, we've got a little journaling card in there. The squared paper, nothing in there. That's the floating pocket. Then the centre spread, I've put two big journaling cards in, one in each side. So plenty journaling there. And they look nice. I did actually put a bit of lace down the edge of each of them. They just look pretty with the lace, I think. And then, where are we? Over the page to here. And this is the Rita Donnelly flip page, but we left it open so we could get a journaling card in there, so that's nice. The book page, paper, nothing there. The floating pocket there, the seal page, dear page, and then this with the side pocket now also has a big journaling card in it. It's so pretty, that paper, isn't it? And this envelope, it's got a little journaling card in there. Then the flower page, and then this is the back page with the tummy tuck running horizontally, and we've got this lovely, isn't that just so pretty? I just love it. I love it. So, right, what shall we move on to today? Well, I think today would be a good day to make tags, because we made the journaling cards for all the pockets and tucks, etc. that need them, but some need tags. So, what I want to introduce you to is my tag stencil. It has a word. I don't know what it is, but it's a piece of Perspex, but you could use a bank card or a loyalty card or whatever it is, and just cut, if it's a bank card, obviously it would be like that, so cut two corners off. This is just a piece of Perspex, so I've got 4 different corners on here, depending what I'm going to be cutting and what I need. So it's a good idea to have template, that's the word I was looking for, template. Right, so let's get some of our remnants out, see what we've got. Well, that would be very nice on there, actually. Let's see what else we've got. That's a full page with the fawns on. I don't really want to use that. This one down there would be nice. That one. That's very pretty, but so is that. Right, let's just cut a tag out. Let me show you how I cut a tag out. How wide do I want it to be? Well, I'd like to really get 2 tags in there, if I could. And this might be a bit wide, but let's just see what height we need it at. Quite tall, really. About there, I would say. So that is 5 3/4 inches. That's what I'm cutting this at. There we are. Let's just have a look. Yeah, that would go in there, and we'd get something else in there as well. So let's pop that away. let's get our template out. Oh, excuse me. And just line it up with the top, line it up with the side, and snip it off. Like that. Turn it completely over so as you get the same one on the other side. Line it up with the side, line it up with the top, and just snip it off. Easier if you haven't got the last bit stuck on. There we are. Right, so we now have a tag. And I think that will go in there quite nicely. We could just have one, but I want two. I want one more. Not as tall, maybe. And I might make it out of this pink paper. And I'll explain to you why as we go along. I think I've got 2 sheets there now. Right. So I just want... I want it to be not quite as wide as this one, so let's make a mark not quite as wide as that, so about there, and not quite as tall, so about there. So let's cut that off and see, is that 1 piece or 2? 1, I think. Yeah, let's cut that out and let's see what it looks like, because I have an idea. Which is always good. Put that down there. And where's my mark up the side? Up here. So this one measures a tad over 5. And it measures 2.5. Is that right? 1, 2, 2.5. That's it. I don't want to be giving you rubbish information. So we need to cut the corners off this, and it doesn't matter if you use the same or different, as long as you use the same on each side of your tag. That's what matters. So let's trim that off, turn it over and trim that off. So there we are, we've got 2 tags. Let's just try them in for size, see what they look like. So I've got this big one, and then I've got this smaller pink one. I think they look quite nice there. I think by the time I've got them backed and done what I fancy doing to them, I think they'll look all right. So this one, that's just a straightforward job. Let's get our backing paper. And just as we did with the journaling cards, I'm just going to stick this down onto here. The back of that is so beautiful as well, honestly. It's hard to choose. There we go. Right, so let's get that onto there. Doesn't matter about your glue seeping out because you're going to cut it out anyway. You don't want it on the face of your tag though. So just roll that up and off. Lovely. So I'll just give that a second to dry. Now then, what I have in mind for this is something a bit different, and it's another skill. I have this napkin. Was in 1 piece, but the cat got it. So it's now in several pieces. But basically, it's a butterfly napkin. And it's on pink. and so is this pink. So let's just tear one out. Tear it with your fingers. There are other ways, but for now, tear it with your fingers around the shape that you want. It might be a butterfly if you've got butterflies. It might be a flower if you've got flowers. It doesn't matter. But if you are using pink paper like I am, it's really good to get a napkin with the background being pink, so it sort of melds into it. If you're using white, then try to get one with a white background. If you're using cream, same thing. Try and get your background so it's going to kind of hopefully disappear into the background. So there we are. I've torn that off. But now we've got 3 layers here. So I'm just going to wet my fingers, touch it and pull them. And eventually the top one will come off, and you'll know it's the top one because it's the pattern's on the back and it's very light. So I want to decoupage that onto there. Just going to take that little bit off, I don't need it. Now then, I've just got another little bit there. Just tidy it up a little bit. So what I'm going to use is Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium Matte. That's it, and it says matte. It is also available in a vintage. Where it says matte here, it says vintage, and it's brown. It looks like this that's had vintage photo mixed through it. That's not what we want. We're trying to keep this clean and light and airy, so I'm just using the ordinary stuff that says matte. Put the lid back on my glue. Get on my glue. And that's it. It just looks, you know, like anything. It may be, if you've been doing this for a while, that you have your preferred method of sticking things on and your preferred glue. That's fine. Go ahead with that. I'm just showing you what I'm using today. So I've got a damp brush. I'm not putting any glue under here. I find that that is a hindrance more than a help. So I'm going to get some collage medium on there, and I'm starting from the middle and I'm going out. From the middle and going out. Now I'm going to do this side. So that's that. And then from the middle, make sure you've always got enough medium on your brush, otherwise it'll drag and possibly tear. So there we are. We've gone from the middle out and we've got our butterfly stuck down. Doesn't that look pretty? It looks so pretty. So pop your brush in water, because it is an acrylic based, it will dry out, and that looks smashing. It looks smashing. And now we need to stick that onto our paper. Will it fit onto there? No, I'll have to stick it on the other side. Actually, I might just dry that off first. So I'll dry that. I'll stick you on pause because you don't need to watch this. Okay, so I've got him nice and dry now, and he looks lovely, doesn't he? So let's just glue him down to the backing paper. It's nice to start, when you first start decoupaging, it's nice to start with something quite small. You know, don't be tempted to do the whole tag or anything like that. Just start small. A little bunch of flowers maybe, or a flower, whatever. That would be fine. There we go. So let's get this stuck onto here, and it can start to, glue can start to dry it up, and then we can get them cut out. Lovely. Right, so I can cut this one out. It's ready, it's done. cooked. Just cut it out roughly to start with. So, as with everything, take your time. It's definitely not a race. Definitely not. There we go. Right. So, what I want to do now is ink around it, as we have with everything. Don't need my corner punch. I'm just going to ink around here. Nearly there. That's it. Right. So now what we need to do is just make a hole in the top there. So here's my hole puncher. I do have other big fancy ones. This is absolutely adequate. It's not expensive. And I need to kind of work out where the middle is. If you can tell it by eye, that's great. As you know, I can't tell anything by eye. Just rubbish. So 1 3/4. So, what's half of that? That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 7/8. 7/8. Who knew? So I'll put a hole there at 7/8. Get my cutter, my puncher I should call it. There's a little hole in the top so I can get my pencil line marked up to that. And there we have it. Okay, didn't want to cut. Let's put that in again. It doesn't want to cut, but never mind, we can deal with that. It's cut out the most part. There's just left little frilly bits around the edge, which I'm not keen on. Right, there we are. It has cut it eventually. So let's just shut that up and put that back on it. Now then, we are going to put some lace in there, pretty it up a little bit. So we've been using white lace throughout, so I'm going to use white lace again. And this is the one I've chosen. It's a one that's hasn't, it's not a border lace, it's the same on both sides. So let's just feed that through there, like that, till it comes out the other side. And then just make sure it's straight in there and cut it off so it's going to be about there. I'm just going to pull it a little bit further through actually. I think I might want it a little bit longer than that. So I always cut mine off at an angle, you don't have to. Like that. And then I'm going to get something to tie that with. I did have some white ribbon, yeah. I haven't got very much of this, I haven't got enough for the whole journal. But we'll put plan B into operation, it'll be fine. So pass that underneath. Then just going to tie a bow in it, just to keep it in place really. And it looks pretty. So tie that up tightly like that. Then tie your bow. And that's another thing that I'm not really good at, is tying bows. But oh, look at that, it's not too bad, is it? Not too bad at all. There we go. Then we can cut the ends off. Leave them as long as you want to. or as short really, but bear in mind you don't want it that short in case they come undone. So that's that, looks pretty, and that can go in our journal. Like that. It possibly needs some more decoration on it, you know, here. We have got these that came with the papers, if you remember. And I think something, I mean, that sunny day on there would look gorgeous, wouldn't it? Should we just do it? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. So I'm chopping this off with my chopper because, you know, I'm rubbish at cutting straight lines. So there we are, we've got that. We've got these, we might as well use them, haven't we? So where do I want this to be? About there, I'd say. And I am going to ink round that. So sorry guys. I'm not going to cut the corners off. Not a great one for cutting corners off if you don't have to. It's just a matter of preference. Some people like it, some don't. So if you haven't got this paper pack and you haven't got any of these, just have a look around at what you do have, because I'm sure you'll have something that will sit on there and look really pretty. I mean, that's just raised that so much. And on the back it's in whatever language that is. Hungarian, Bulgarian, I'm not sure, you know. I think it's Hungarian. Right, now to get this stuck on fairly centrally, about there, I think. Is it square? Well, it's not bad, you know. Hooray, hooray. Press that into place. Yeah, I think that's okay, it's acceptable. So that's going to go into there. Oh, isn't that lovely now? All of a sudden it looks full and nice. So we've got our little butterfly, decoupage butterfly journaling card as well. Tag. It's not a journaling card, silly woman. We've done all those. And Catkin wants to go out. He's forever wanting to go outside. And there we are. Right, well, I personally think that looks just a little bit plain. And what I'm proposing to do is put faux sewing round the edge. Now, I did have a brown pen. I did. I know I did. I don't know where it's gone. Could have gone anywhere. It doesn't look like it's here anywhere at all. I'll just pause you and pick that one up. So I've picked up this one. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what brand it is. Looks like a children's one. It's got sort of, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's the one that looks most like tea dye. And what I'm going to do is just draw, well, hopefully, yeah, just draw a wiggly line right around this, just to make it look not so stark. That's the idea, because it could end up looking a bit plain. So I've got one line round it. I'm going to do another just to accentuate the wiggle. The fact that it looks like it was never supposed to be straight. So this is always a quite good idea if you're not going to sew, And we're not going to go down the sewing route with this journal. It will probably come into being with the next journal that we make, the more sort of advanced one. Right, so there we are. I think that looks much better with just a little bit of something around the edge, but we need to do something with the top as well. So let's get this out again. Let's get my ruler out again, see where the middle of this is. Middle for diddle. Right, that measures 1 1/4. So that is 5/8 is the middle of that. Which is there. Let's just do that. Let's just see if this wants to work any better this time. Sure, it's operator error because there's not that much that can go wrong with these, to be honest. Nearly. Okay, so there we have it. Let's put this back on. There we go. Right. So once again, I want to add something to it, and it's probably going to be something similar because that's kind of what we've got today. I do have this gold braid, which I think I'll tie the lace in with, but let's get the lace out first. See how much I think I need. About that much. About there. And then same as before, feed it through. We can do it either way. I generally just feed mine through from the front, but you could equally do it from the back. Straighten it up like that. And if you've got a weight or something, it's sometimes a good idea to put a weight on it, so I'll put that on it there. And get some of this gold braid, which came from a charity shop. Mr. F bought 3 rolls of it for 50p each, and honestly, it is... I'm still on my first roll. It's brilliant stuff. But any twine or anything that you've got like that will do. You know, hemp or string, embroidery thread, eyelash yarn, loads of stuff you can use. I've got a big loop on there. Let's just tighten that up again. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Let's just trim these ends off. Like that. And then these look a little bit disproportionate, look a bit long. So I'm just going to cut a little bit off each of those. And there we go. So there's 2 different tags, same basic principle. Let's pop this into here, see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks really nice now, doesn't it? It looks nice and full and really pretty. What I do need, I think, is some lace along the front of this pocket. So let's get some of our border lace out, this one. And let's pop some of that along there. I think that will just finish that off nicely. But it's just, oh, I don't know, it's just come to life. It's lovely. I could try Fabri-Tac, but honestly, I've had such bad results with it recently. I'm just going to go with the art glitter. Quite a bit of it, because the crochet lace just absorbs it like mad, like a wild thing. So that's quite a lot of art glitter down there. And then our lace, and I just want to show that inked border at the top of the pocket, because then you've got a nice edge to it. So yeah, that's lovely. So let's just trim this off down the edge of the pocket. like that, and then make sure that the edges are stuck down, because as I say, that is where they will fray and they look awful. So just a little bit of glue down there, a little bit down here, and it'll just keep them in place and stop them fraying. So there we have it. There's our first page. Isn't it gorgeous? Imagine you open the cover and this is the first page that you come to. I love it. I love it. Right, so let's move on. That one is blank. We'll leave that. I don't know if I'm putting anything on it or not yet. That's lovely. And because there's nothing there, it really exaggerates that and I like it. Right, so we've got this. So for all we're making tags, I do think that we're also sort of beginning to finish up, really. So I've got my border lace here, and I think, oh, there's a fault in it there, look. Let's just cut that out. Oh, and a fault there, dear me. Right, so I think that that would look pretty along there. That's what I think. I'm not going to go down the route of die cuts and fussy cuts, etc. on this one. Excuse me. You could, you definitely could. But for me, showing you what to do, I'm not going to. So let's just see how much of this I need. To about there, I think. So we're kind of tidying up as we're going along here, which wasn't really my idea for today. I thought we were just going to make tags. But it's funny how things happen, isn't it? So just in from the inked edge, right down, and come back up because it just absorbs it like a wild thing. Let's pop this on. So just want to see that inked edge. And I'm just applying a little bit of tension, but I'm not pulling. So there, isn't that pretty? That's so much nicer. Now let's just take that out of there because I want to cut the edges. Like that. And this one here. Like that. Okay. So how does that work? It must go like that. Does it go like that? Honestly, I'm awful. I keep forgetting the way things go. Well, certainly this page was the next. That much I can tell you. Now, should we add something to there? Good question. Let's see what we've got. We've got the little fawns, but they're very small, aren't they? What have I got here? The most beautiful moments. I love those fawns though. I've got Happy Easter, which is a bit out of context. Those are words. Scent of flowers is quite nice. Have I got any flowers? Oh no. Yes, I've got those flowers in the watering can. So I could put that on and I could put those words on. Scent of flowers. Would that be enough? Let's chop them out and have a look. Chop this watering can off. And then cut out that wording there that says scent of flowers. So I quite like that. Okay. So that would be quite nice there. But I'd need something behind that. It's just not big enough. So let's go back to the paper remnants that we've got. That's the same as that, so I don't want to use that. This one here. Would that stand out on there? No, not really. What about this? What about if I put a piece of that there, then put that, and then put that? Yeah, I think that would look all right. So what size do we need this to be? Well, let's have a look. We need it to be just wider than there. There. It's about here. And about here. Let's chop that out and see. I mean, the worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to waste a bit of paper. That's the worst thing. So, right, there's my mark there. And lost my mark again. There it is. There. Right, let's see if what this looks like. Let's take our journaling card and pop that down on it towards the top, because there's a pocket down there, and then that, and then our scent of flowers. I quite like that. Looks quite nice. So let's get inking. Let's get inking and sticking. And once again, I'm leaving these square. I'm inking over my page, which I already explained to you shouldn't do. Dear me. Don't even listen to myself. Oh dear. So yeah, towards the top, about there. Yeah, lovely. So I'm just going to do that trick again with my ruler, just to make sure I get it square. I want it to be about there, which is about 1.25 inches from the top. So I'm going to make sure my sides of my journaling card are lined up with the ruler, and that's 1.25 inches. So if I put that up to there, it's kind of got to be straight. That's the plan. Oh, plans. Well, the Amazon man, actually it was the postman today, brought me something from Amazon, and it's got to be one of the least exciting things I've ever ordered. It is my StazOn ink remover for stamps. So it's a stamp cleaner, because Nancy sent me some scrubby stuff to clean my stamps, but alas, they were too dirty. So I needed some cleaner. So that's half, just almost 1 inch. Yeah, that looks right to me. Does that look right? It looks a bit cockeyed. There we go. I think that's okay. Lovely. So let's ink around this one. Not over your work. How many times? So it just makes this journaling card look more special. And that's, I might as well ink around this when I've got the doodah out. Yeah, I quite like having words on things if I can. There's not that many words in this pack that are suitable, because, you know, Happy Mother's Day and Happy Easter and stuff. It's not for that purpose, so. Right, so shall I stick that just off centre? I think so. and that down there, yeah. So let's do that. Lovely. Over to this side a little bit, like that. Just like we've thought about the design of it. And this one. Just there. Perfect. I think it's perfect. Let's have a look when we hold it up and see. Maybe could do with going up a touch. Right, there we have it, our journaling card. So it's got no lace on it, but it doesn't need any lace, I don't think. And it's going to pop into here, like that. Look at that. Doesn't that look so much nicer? So pretty. So over the page, what have we got? Well, there's nothing we need to do with that. That's perfect in every way. Then we've got our Moosey Deary page. Nothing on there as yet. Now then, this envelope. It needs a tag behind it, is what it needs. So, let's see what remnants we've got. I've got this one. I've got this one. I think this one is a good one because it's quite tall. So, and it's about the right size. Blimey, that's just good fortune. So let's make a mark where we want the height to go. To about there. You don't want it right to the top of the page. So let's slice that off. Just where we marked it there, and it happens to be just over 6 1/4, something like that. There we are. Now, where did I put my... Here it is. So I'm going to cut 2 corners off here, and I'll use this one slightly larger than the last one because the tag's slightly larger. Turn it over, do the other side. There we are, we have a nice tag. That's lovely. Right, so let's ink it and stick it down. That's what to do. Where's my thingy gone? Here it is. Rolls around, that's its problem. Should have tried this in place actually before I started inking it, but I'm hoping it's going to be right. I'll try it before I stick the backing on. There we go. Let's just try it for size. Oh yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, happy with that. Definitely I am. So we can stick that down onto some backing paper. We're getting through a fair bit of this today, aren't we? But I buy it very inexpensively, so it's fine. Right, a bit of glue. Square it up with the lines. Lovely, just like that. And I'll just leave that to dry for a minute or two to tack up. So that's that one. Right, this one. Now, does it need a journaling card or a tag? That's the question. In the kit, there is a strip of these little tags, but I fear they might be too little for that. So that's no good. They might come in for something else somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. I think a journaling card is what's needed for there. Excuse me. Yeah, that's very pretty, isn't it? It's the one we've just used. That one, I could get a nice one out of there. Yeah, let's do that. It's so pretty. So let's just mark it, which is about, make allowances for the glue, don't forget, so that's about there. And then the overall height I want to be to about there. So let's chop that out and then we'll try it to make sure it fits. Of course, we have two of these in our journal, so we'll need another one at some stage. But let's see what goes on here. Yeah, I think that's just really nice. Really nice. So it's a journaling card, so I'm going to round the corners. I'll stick it on first and then I'll round the corners when it's dry. Let's get that stuck on. Leave that to tack up. In the meantime, we can chop this one out. It's quite the little assembly line we've got going. There we are. Right, so where is it going? That's the question. I can't remember. It was going here, wasn't it? Behind this envelope. Yeah, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yes, marvellous. Right, so what I want to do now then is put... I think I've moved all my ribbon. I want to just put a bow in there. I want to tie a bow. So I need a ruler. It's a good idea. Where's my little square ruler? Here. Because I want 2 marks equally in from the side. Well, that's 2.5. So if I do it at 3/4 of an inch there and 3/4 of an inch there, I think that's all right. I don't know if I can see that mark. Yeah. So that's the mark there, and that's the mark there. So these marks are 1 inch apart. They're 1 inch apart. So I'm going to get out my big crocodile. Now, you've already seen that I do have other methods of doing this, but they don't seem to want to work today. So I'm not advocating that you run out and buy one of these. You know, you really don't need it. It's just that my other thing is decided to be darned awkward. So that's it. That's the 2 holes made in there. And I'm going to take some of this thin white ribbon that I've got, and I'm going to feed it through there and back through the other one. Like so. And make sure it's flat on the back, which that one isn't. Just twist it till it's lying nice and flat, and then tie yourself a bow. And it just looks a little bit different from the way that we finished the top of the tags. It's something different. You can only really get away with doing it on the wide tags, as it's just a bit too much for the little ones. There we are, that's nice. Just fiddle around a bit. So cut that there, cut that there, and there we have it, our really nice little bow on top of our journaling card. Lovely. So let's pop that in its place. Like that, and doesn't that look nice? It looks lovely. Right, so where were we? We were doing this one, weren't we? So that should be tacked up nicely by now. It won't be bone dry, but it'll be dry enough for us, for our purposes. So let's cut that out. And I think you can see what I'm doing here. You know, it's repetition now. So I'll do this one with you, and then I'll leave you to get on with your own tags and journaling cards, and adding bits of lace to pocket tops maybe if you want to. Right, there we go. So I'm just going to round these corners because it's a journaling card, and I don't know why that is. It's just kind of the law. It's the junk journaler's law. I'm going to ink round that, but isn't that a pretty, pretty card? Pretty. Ink around the edges. There we go. Right, let's pop that in its place, which is in there. Oh, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. The question is, do we want a little bit of lace along there? The answer, of course, because it's me, is yes. So I'll cut it there. I'm just going to take this out to work on because it'll be easier. And this is just going to go along there, like that. I love that journaling card. It's my favourite so far. I love it. There we go. Just down under the inked line so that you can still see that ink line, otherwise you get no definition then. Just make sure that you've got some coming down the side to catch that bit of lace there. And this side, oh, I've nearly got enough, but just a little bit extra. And then let's trim those off. lovely, perfect floating pocket. Really gorgeous. I don't really think that needs anything else. It's really nice. So let's bring that back over and just paper clip it on the side there. Like that. Right, so what have we done today then? What have we achieved today? Always good to have a look. Well, we've got these two gorgeous tags in the front. And they really are really pretty. I love that butterfly, it's gorgeous. The tops are nice, it looks nice. Marvellous. Plain page, flower, this big journaling card in here. That looks nice. It's a little collage really, is what we've done. Then over the page, got the big journaling card that I'd already made that fits under that tummy tuck there. The Deary Moosey page, a blank page. Then the envelope, it's got a journaling card in there, and it's got a big tag there. Now I'm just wondering, looking at these, if I could get away with putting one of those tags on the bottom there. Might be just a bit too big. Let me just cut one out and see if it would work as a... which one do I want? I like the fawn at the bottom. Nothing new there. There we are. Let's just snip these corners off. They are coloured, so I am following a line, because otherwise it would be disaster. Right, so if I was to put that on there, oh, I think it is just too big. I was just wondering if I could have it as something to hold my envelope down. I think I could, you know. I think it would be all right. It's got a whacking great big hole in it, which I think is even bigger than this big hole on here. But never mind, we'll give it a try. Yeah, it is. Not much I can do about it, really. It is, you know, it is what it is. So I'm thinking that I can stick that there, and that'll serve as something to keep my envelope closed. How far up do I need to bring it? Yeah, about there. So I'm going to glue it to that first line of lines. The first line of lines. It's got lines on, so as you can... Oh, this art glitter's not behaving terribly well this morning. Right, I've just got a bit too much in places, so I'm just going to lift them off. Right, so about there, about there, about there, yeah, about there. Okay, happy with that. And that can just open like that and just close like that. I think that'll be fine. It's just added something to it. It's just nice. Nice. There's our journaling paper. Then our floating pocket. How nice does that look? It's gorgeous. Our centre spread. Once again, absolutely gorgeous. That needs nothing adding to it. It's just beautiful the way it is. Then this page that's got the Rita Donnelly flip with the journaling. And we've got this big journaling card in here. Now, it might need something. You might think that needs something. I'm actually not going to put any lace on there. I could, but it would hamper anybody writing on there. So I'm not going to do any lace on that. So that might mean that I'm going to put something, I don't know what, but I might put something on there. Blank page. This one needs another card, the same as the one we made previously. That might need a little bit of collage or something on it. We need a tag to go in the back of there. I don't think that needs anything on it. This might need some words or something, I don't know. But I'm going to leave you like that and ask you please to carry on making your tags and journal cards as you see fit, and I'll see you back again once we've all caught up. So bye for now.